Hello everyone, this is Jeremy and welcome to episode 35 of Multiblock Madness. As I alluded to at the end of last episode, I wanted to do some redesigning of part of the QMD setup I had. So it's been done now. Our this chamber, neutral containment chamber, is now receiving a thick beam of both antiprotons and positrons. There's actually something I didn't quite expect, is that it can only produce 1 millibucket of antihydrogen a tick, and that only takes 600 units of each. So turns out going above 600, at least for the purpose of this, has no effect, but whatever, it's been done. So let me show you how that was done, just as a high level. Previously we were just generating our positrons from a sodium source, because that's just what makes positrons. I don't think I have a pin anymore, but that only makes a 100 pu source. That's not enough. So instead I went and siphoned off the, where's the controller on this multi-block? I think it was a proton stream. Yeah, I siphoned off the proton stream we have coming out of this target chamber. We're gonna ignore the corners here. These are just a little beam bender that lets, or beam diverter, lets me like do right hand turns with beams. Decelerate it, I believe, is what we're doing here, to a certain energy equivalent. That really, I should place my controllers in a consistent place. Yeah, decelerate it down to a certain energy, so 52 mega electron volts. Shoot it at something. I don't even care what I shot it at here. I guess copper to make nickel. Woohoo, great. We're doing alchemy here. Then what? Then I got a little cute. I didn't realize, or I think at the time before, I couldn't fit this decelerator. I think that's a decelerator. Maybe it's an accelerator. I couldn't fit it here, so instead I had to do like this 2 turns thing. Don't ask, it's ugly, I know. We have dire wire of particle beams now. But anyways, this is a, nope, it's another decelerator. We'll bring it down to 13 mega electron volts so that we can hit it on aluminum to make silicon. Woohoo, turning something useful into something useless. But that turns the particle into a positron, I'm tempted to say. Yeah, a positron. We have output neutrons as well if I want to do something with them later, and electron anti-neutrinos. Although I think those are literally useless. Oh no, that's not true. We can smash, we can undo our nickel to, or no, we can't. I don't know. I highly doubt there's something useful here. I guess we can transmute the heavy elements. Literally useless. Anti-neutrinos are not a very, well, neutrinos in general are not a very interesting particle because they don't do things most of the time. They go through things. But anyways, decelerate it one more time and then jam it into the neutral containment center. Great. So now I have a bunch of anti-hydrogen in here secured by, I guess it's lasers. I don't know how you secure antimatter. If you task me with keeping antimatter secure, I would have kept it charged and used extremely strong magnets. But I don't know. Maybe there's some other way that does it. What are those things inside? Is it a bad idea? Teleport inside. What is the staff called? Staff of traveling. Containment coils. I don't know. What are they made of? This is just my curiosity getting the better of me. Osmiridium and superconductor. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but through, I guess, Minecraft magic, we're keeping antimatter contained. However, it's only, all I can do with antimatter now is contain it. I can't use it. In order to use this, I have to bottle it up into cells. And my goal is to make a anti-hydrogen cell, because we can use this as an arbitrary anti-proton source wherever, you know, we can go elsewhere in the base and use it. And as you can see here, we're a little crowded. I'd like to have a little bit more space for working. I should probably not hold my pickaxe around this thing. If I break a block, I think it explodes. But anyways, in order to make this, as we've seen before, the empty cell, we need Californium RTGs. The book says something about the cells being highly explosive, so I suspect the yeah, so cells must be charged to hold material, and they tend to explode if they drain out of their power. I think this is old text, and that mechanic has been replaced by the cell having a built-in power source. That's why the cell uses an RTG internally, because there's no indication that there's energy stored here, right? And even on these cells, the storage is the amount of ticks of production of matter production it has, beam production. So I don't think they store energy anymore, which is good. I don't like exploding. I'm personally a fan of not exploding. Anyways, but that does mean we have to make RTGs. So we have to make Californium 250 for this. This is kind of like the end material in nuclear craft. Done it before on the old nuclear craft, but now we're playing with nuclear craft overhauled, which means the recipes are slightly different. Californium 250. I'm going to do nitrides for this because I'm pretty sure nitrides are the lowest heat producing of the fuel options, and heat is just bad. I don't know. Maybe there's a better one to use of the three fuel types, right? We have nitrides, oxides, and zirconium alloy fuels, but the fuel pellet. Here we go. Of these, they'll have slightly different stats, and yeah, I haven't played with them enough to have any clue what the difference is. I guess zirconium alloys burn the fastest. Nitrates burn the slow. I don't know. I'm going to use nitrates, and I'm also going to have the reactor planner generate my reactors for me. Perhaps somewhat surprisingly, the reactor system in Nuclear Craft Overhauled is way more complicated than the particle system in QMB, because in the reactor, I can't just break it up into individual slices that all have a functional thing, and then we kind of read a reactor from left to right. Whereas on a particle accelerator, I can do that, right? I can say, this slice is a cooling slice. This slice enables that cooling slice and is a focus increasing slice, cooling slice, energy increasing slice, cooling slice, energy increasing. We can read a particle accelerator like it's a word, maybe, and it's like marginally more complicated when you get loops, but not really. Just start here and then read around the circle. That doesn't apply to reactors, which means that they're actually far harder to design. But the good news is there's a computer program that does it for you. So, computer's smarter than me, I'll admit it. Anyways, fuel chain. To produce Californium 250, there's only one recipe for it now. There used to be dozen-ish different fuels, maybe half dozen different fuels that produce it. Well, first of all, I'm choosing to work backwards from Californium 250 for this very reason, right? If we start from the beginning, where do we go? Where do we start from? Send help. I don't know. But if we start from the back and work our way back, we know where we're trying to get. So we start from one point, and then, from one, well, there's exactly one option. Great. So we have to make highly enriched Californium 249. All right. How do we make highly enriched Californium 249? Well, it is a 3-to-6 ratio of 249 to 252. But bear in mind that when it's done, you also get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your 252 back. So technically, once you have a little bit of 252, you only need to make Californium 249. All right, so now how do we do that then? I was looking at our options, and I settled on, there are, at this point, there's more than one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So now we have some options, but I ended up settling on one that produced both 249 and 252. There's actually literally only, I think, two. No, there's only one non-Californium. Wrong tab. Yeah, there's only one non-Californium consuming fuel that produces 252. So based on that limitation, actually that's what set me on using boron 248. But anyways, we spent enough JEI looking. I think one of the downsides of this whole nuclear craft and quantum Minecraft dynamics thing is you spend more time looking at JEI than playing the game, which is a little bit disappointing. But I'm not going to subject you to all of that. I'm just going to go over the fuel order I have. So boron or berkelium 248, which is made from curium. This part I'm less sure about, but curium 243 from, or lowly enriched curium 243 from highly enriched americium 242, lowly enriched plutonium 239, and conveniently that comes from lowly enriched uranium 235. And guess what? I am the proud owner of a lowly enriched uranium 235 reactor. Don't come at me, FBI. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that I haven't like automated this. I should have dropped some chests here 6 weeks ago or whenever I built it. Let's see, and then just wired it up to batch run huge batches of uranium 235 because it is a little bit on the slow side. I also accidentally ran zirconium alloy through it once. The quest book says that that's okay. The reactor melted down, so don't do that. Turns out meltdown. So you know what? Maybe it's no, it's not do it. Meltdowns in overhaul aren't that bad. It liquefied literally just my controller and my fuel cells. So I have a little bit of Corium. Oh, I did it twice. That's why I have 9. Don't ask. If it melted down once, Jimmy, why did you put the same fuel in it again? I was curious. Why did it happen? It happened because it got too hot. All right. So start burning the fuel. We're putting nitrate in here. Okay, so that's our first reactor done. We get a freebie. This is an extremely slow reactor for sure, and each tier, right, we have to go up what 1 2 3 4 5 6 tiers. It requires about 2 runs of the previous tier to do run of the next tier, so it's entirely possible that we'll have to design a faster uranium 235 reactor. But anyways, let's start by picking a place to put this stuff. Let's put it out here where I don't have anything else. Yeah, due to the nature of all these different fuels having sufficient or having like relatively different stats between them, I have a feeling that we'll need one reactor for each. Like it'll be really hard to make a reactor that can run both highly enriched Californium 249 at its 1300 heat per tick, as well as, you know, lowly enriched plutonium 239 at its meager 100 heat per tick, or this at, you know, 96 heat per tick. But in the end, there's a reactor planner. It's leu-235. Let me look it up so I don't say the wrong thing. leu235.com/overhaul.html. And why is there a zombie? You can't spawn here. Rude. And that thing you can, and it's basically like the pre-overhaul designer. It computer AI magic does the work for you. All right, so I'm gonna have the computer AI magic make me a plutonium 239 reactor. When it comes to actually building the reactor, Nuclearcraft Overhauled also has a really cool thing called a reactor builder. It does what its name suggests. So the reactor planner generates a text file. It's just a JSON text file that describes the reactor. It can be imported into the reactor builder. And then if you go over to the build tab, you get to see the components that it's built of and make some choices for what casings you want to use. So I want to use those, I believe. I want my edges to be actually maybe the top. I don't know. We'll wait, no, edges. I want the edges to be that, and I want all my faces to be glass. Except the bottom face. Yeah, let's go with something like this. That's purely cosmetic, of course. And then we have to supply it with these blocks. I assume we just pipe the blocks into it, but let's hit the build button to get it started. I assume that's what the top port is. Maybe we just put it into a chest out there. And get some, I don't have much on here right now, but here, let's just put the glass in and see what it does. No, all right, where do you pull from? I think you just need to have all the components at once to start the build. So there we go, and it places the blocks faster. Beautiful. Really is great. Much better than having to build these things by hand, and that's exactly the layout I wanted. All right, so leftover ingredients stay in the chest. Now it doesn't place the functional bits for you. That's kind of up to you. So you choose where you put your, you know, your controller. What else do we need? The fuel cell ports, the coolant ports, yada, yada, yada. Put the ports wherever you want them, and we are ready to run the thing. But we still need to actually make the fuel. So right now I have depleted fuel. We need to run that through a fuel reprocessor. I have a feeling we're going to be running a lot of fuel through our fuel reprocessor, partly because I also have a boatload. Why is the raid not making noise? Weather. Whatever. Completely unrelated. I have a boatload of lead spallation waste, and I can process other materials through. I can basically process any metal through this thing, and it gives me its spallation waste variant. And this is also processed through fuel reprocessors. So I think I'm going to build a fuel reprocessing bank that'll handle just all of my reprocessing, both for the fission reactors and the particle chambers. I'm going to choose to store the outputs in its own dedicated storage subnet because I don't know exactly how many different outputs there are. So this is kind of like drawers. You know, they hold a small number of items very efficiently. Most of it will come from my spallation waste, I imagine. We produce that far, far faster than we produce spent fuel. Anyways, I did notice an issue with the spent fuel, and that is that it is processed 9 at a time, which means if you give it less than 9, you just jam up the thing. So what I'm just going to do is dedicate one machine to each. So this one is filtered for LEU-235. This one is filtered for the spallation wastes. I'm curious, do they all have the same... Yeah, same ID, different metadata. So if I don't match metadata, every type of spallation waste will come into here. And these are only processed one at a time, so it can't possibly jam. All right. So anyways, this is fuel reprocessing. Now that I have plutonium, so specifically 239 and 242 go make the next level of fuel. What I'm going to do is put a crafter, the smart crafter here. Oh, why do I have an upgraded one on hand? Whatever. And then give it a interface next to it. Supply its ingredients into the interface for this recipe. It has the upgrade, right? So if I put this and that there, you will auto import, craft, and then auto export. There we go. So that makes the fuel, and I guess it's not auto exporting because I placed it here. Whatever, this is fine. Extract, insert. That sends the fuel into the reactor, and now we have to turn the reactor on somehow. How do I turn this reactor on? I have to send a redstone signal to the... How did I turn my old reactor on? We have to send a redstone signal to the neutron sources, right? Oh, but the neutron sources are on the exterior on this one. Wait, if the neutron sources are interior, because my fuel cells are not self-priming, I have to put a neutron... My reactor melted down. Why did my reactor... Why is... Hello? What happened? I was gonna say I have to put a neutron source in front of each to turn on each fuel cell. But all the fuel cells in the reactor are gone and have been replaced by... Oh no, not every cell. Wait, maybe every cell? Is every cell gone? No, not all the fuel cells. So some of my fuel cells melted down. Why? What? I don't understand. I copied the design from the reactor planner, Jimmy. This is what you get for copying designs without understanding why they work. I got back a total of 15 pieces of corium, which I think means that I melted down 15 internal components. I'm not sure why. I'm going to double check to make sure that it was only... I guess it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, no, we should see no corium in here. It will burn me if we have it anyways. So, yeah, there's no corium in there, which is good. That means we're fully repaired. Now I need to figure out how to start this reactor up. The last time I just flipped every single one on, I noticed the reactor started making beeping sounds before I was done flipping levers. So as soon as this reactor starts making beeping sounds, I'm going to stop turning on neutron sources. I did make sure that no neutron source is powering, or no fuel cell. Oh, it's going. So we're running. Number of clusters 4. Does this mean that all of my... No, this is only some of my clusters are running. In fact, now they're shut down again. Because it melted. These are melted. Why? What? So we're experiencing like local meltdowns? The heat bar never filled up though. We're looking at that the whole time. The heat bar was empty. I'm really confused. The only remaining thing I can think of is that it is sensitive to having all the things turn on at the same time, so I can't do them one at a time. I have it all hooked up to a wireless system, power it on, we're running, heat is negative, and uh-oh, number of clusters is dropping, which I think is a sign that components are melting. Alright, backup plan. I'm gonna see if dragons are hoarding Californium. I'm gonna go to the beneath and use a scanner to try to find dragon lairs. I'm not sure what the best thing to scan for. I have it set to charred-stone, but chests might be better because I don't think all nests have charred-stone. The thing is, like, nests will show up, or chests will show up as a couple individual dots. This will show up as a blob the size of the earth, and it'll be literally impossible to miss. I know for sure that there are nests down here because I remember there's one. Our builder, when I was using it too, also relatively regularly ran into these, right? So let's break in. Or what is that? I guess we don't even, oh, it's right here. We don't necessarily have to break in. I can just boot. None here. Oh, thank goodness they do hoard radioactive isotopes. All right, this is the same nest actually, it's just really big. So I'm gonna have to find a few more of these. I can probably make do with as few as like 10-ish Californium 250 pieces, but I do need to find at least a couple more. And yeah, if each nest has one, we'll get 10. Stop, you're rude. We'll get 10 much faster looting them than we will trying to build the reactor chain. So sayonara, reactors. There's also a dragon that spawns in these too, but we one-shot him, so... Yep, stage 5 dragon, get one shot. And then we can collect their bones in case we need those later for whatever reason. Anyways, let's see if we get lucky again. And there... Oh, we can get the... Okay, stop, please. We can get the nuggets, what is this? Oh, Weezer. Don't know what a Weezer is, but I'll take it. There's a lot of different oxide. I can work with oxide. I guess maybe all of the different isotopes on here. Ooh. We're making cash money this run. An ultimate nugget. Oh wow, if you loot enough of these early on, you can just make yourself a make yourself crafting seeds. That's interesting. All right. 3 Californium 250 off of just this one. Where's my scanner? Just this one part of a layer. I'm sure there's more to be had. Anyways, be back when I've gotten 10-ish pieces. Eventually, I grabbed a night vision potion to help find these. It makes the ones that are sticking out of the dirt super easy to spot. Everything does have that strange yellow hue though from Hardcore Darkness, but I think it still beats not being able to see it all. Anyways, the average layer definitely has more than one. Probably the average one has about 3 pieces of Californium 250 in it. So there's one. So yeah, I think I'm already at 10-ish. And once we loot this one, we should be good to head back, make our cells, and continue fashion particles together. I looted a few more through the duration of my night vision potion, and here's the extent of the interesting things. I mean, I guess that is the extent of the interesting things. What was it? 14, 19, 25 Californium 250 pieces. Very good. That should let us make these cells. So I just have to encode this recipe with allow substitutions. And yeah, let's make should I use all of it? I see no reason not to. I can just go get more if I need it, right? So make me 25 empty cells, please. Very good. I don't want to use them all for anti-helium or anti-hydrogen right now because we'll need them later on for, we'll need one anti-helium 3 cell, right, to make the incoherent matrix, and then we need at least a couple muonium cells to make neutronic matrices. They are recycled in the process, so they're never lost. But that's why yeah, we can reuse these indefinitely. That's why 25 should be enough for the rest of the pack. If not, you know, we'll steal some more from dragons, I guess. Sorry, dragons, it's not you, it's me. Because anti-hydrogen is approximately purple in JEI, I think. I'm going to use a purple ender chest for it. So, what we'll do is store cells in here, extract empty cells, jam them into here. I assume that's how it works. Yep. And then extract my filter. Full cells and put them back into the ender chest. So that way any hydrogen cells that get used up will automatically get refilled. And let's put, I don't know, half-ish. Oh, they don't even stack. Half-ish of our cells into here. So just to make sure there's there's nothing here that suggests that they're like about to explode or anything if I leave them here too long. Also fill really quick. All right, so anyways, now that we have our anti-hydrogen in cells, let's begin the process of making helium-3. So we've talked about it before. I want to take 2 beams of antiprotons, bash them together to get antideuterons, bash them into another antiproton beam to get antihelions, and then contain those with a positron beam to get antihelium-3. What I've built here is what I guess I'll call it a standard high focus, low energy linear accelerator. So the purpose is to take in low energy particle, well, take in any particle, give it a little bit more energy. So there's only a few RF cavities here coming out to 900 kilo electron volts of energy, and give it a lot of focus. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Teslas worth of quadrupole magnets in here. So what will happen is that the input particle will be, it's designed anyways to take an input particle of an antiproton, although it can take any, and then it'll take its, from its initial state coming out of the can at 0.2 focus and 1,000, or less than 1,000 kilo electron volts. It'll take that up to about, what did I say was 7 focus, and loses about 1 on the way. So 6 focus, because the thing is about 20 long. So about 6 output focus and about 900 kilo electron volts output energy. That is the exact perfect amount to go smashing 2 antiprotons into each other, right? Because they each have 900. The difference here is 1.8 mega electron volts. Bear in mind that this is an energy releasing collision. Most collisions we've seen so far are energy absorbing. I know these are all energy releasing as well. But ones involving antiparticles tend to be energy releasing. The ones using regular particles tend to be energy absorbing. But that means that this produces more output energy than we input. So by bashing these 2 particles together at 900 kilo electron volts each, we get 1.8 mega electron volts as the energy difference, plus this amount takes us to like 2.2 something mega electron volts. Divide that 3 ways. Our antideuteron particle, yeah, it's 3 ways. Our antideuteron particle has just over 700 kilo electron volts of energy. Guess what? That's not a coincidence. That is the amount of energy it needs in the next step. Wow, I'm a genius. So, this particle chamber, or we'll need 2 copies of this accelerator to accelerate both of our antiprotons into each other. Additionally, we'll need a 3rd copy of it to smash the antiproton into the antideuteron later to make our anti-helion, right? Because this also needs another basically same state antiproton. So we're going to need at least 3 copies of this reactor, or this particle chamber. We might even need more later. So I built a space chamber around it. And now if I want another copy, all I have to do is drop off a builder somewhere. Be like, hey, builder, give me this, set it to copy mode, and bam, it'll build me another one. There's limited capability. It can't rotate it, unfortunately. I don't think, but I can. Yeah, I can choose which side of the builder to put it on. The fact that I can't rotate it is a little annoying, because I do need one of my accelerators to be perpendicular to it, right? The 2 that smash together to make the antideuteron can be parallel to each other. Like these 2 can be parallel to each other, but this particle shoots off in another direction. So I'll either need to turn the particle or to turn one of the reactors. It's no big deal either way. Anyways, let's build this. Oh, I'm gonna make my because this one is just a pattern. I'm gonna have it be all like leave out the functional blocks so that we can put the functional blocks in later. Now that we've built a second one of these, I did realize a problem with it. I set up our tunnel, our accelerator here, such that the ion source has to be on this side. Because if I start the particles on this side, they only start with 0.2 focus, right? And they lose 0.05 per. So that means they can only go 4 blocks before reaching, before they run out of focus. They have to reach, at least I think that's the case. They have to reach a magnet before that. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, dead. I'm going to try turning it around and see if it'll run, but I don't expect it to. Nope, never mind. Looks like I'm concerned over nothing. Even putting the source on this side, it is able to beam the antiprotons through. So I guess it treats the entire thing as one unit, not actually checking per block to make sure we've stayed above 0, right? So this is our output particle as I expected it to be. All right, so now I need to put I need to put the source back onto the right side. In between 2 copies of that accelerator, which I really wish I could turn it 180 degrees so that they look, you know, like symmetrical, but whatever. In between 2 of them, you put a collision chamber. This is effectively the particle chamber, except instead of hitting particles on objects, you hit particles on particles. You need some level of efficiency on this chamber, depending on the cross-section of your recipe, as usual. So the collision chamber recipes tend to have very, very, very low cross-section at high energy, but the low energy ones tend to have very high cross-section. So if you need to do those low energy ones, you can build or low cross-section ones, you can build a much larger collision chamber, and put a lot more of these detectors inside. But since, again, mine is baseline 50%, I only need 200% efficiency. Yeah. So let's go turn both of these on. They're each hooked up to the ender chest containing my anti-hydrogen sources. So they each have a steady supply of anti-hydrogen. This one. Turn these on. Oh, I forgot the pipes. Just, you know, install it after the fact. It's fine, right? There's an active particle beam. You don't need to worry about safety or anything. So that should get 1 particle beam piped in. Yeah, it's getting 1 of them. And then this should get the other particle beam piped in. No? Why do you no run? Uh-oh. Oh, because you have an empty cell in there. I'm not extracting the empty cell when we're done. Okay, there we go. Now you should run? Yes. So the 2 of them are colliding. Now where's your empty? What happened to you now? Like chasing children, I swear. Did I? Yeah. I made the same mistake twice. Okay, so there we go. Now we have antiprotons hitting each other, producing these things. So of the outputs, they come out these 4 ports. I really only... Now what's wrong with... Okay, no, it's just during the changeover of canisters. It's all right. I really only want the anti-deuterion. So if I come and... Let's take it out of this port. Shift right click. There we go. 2, 1. I can get 1 or 2. Oh, maybe. I don't actually know. They're all charged particles, right? Which one is it? 1, 2, 3? Is that how it works? I need to figure out which port gives me the right output. According to the wiki, it is numbered as like reading order in JEI. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The anti-deuteron is the one I want, so we want output 1 here. And what I'm going to do is actually, I think, take it out, put a bend into it, because it is a charged particle, I'm allowed to do that. Put another collision chamber, right, actually, let's take... Yeah, no, take it out. No, take it out from here, bend it 90 degrees, put a second collision chamber that will run from like here to here, put another one of these accelerators, and then that way I don't have to I get to build 1 corner instead of trying to rotate an accelerator. Like so. We take the beam out, bend it, put it into another collision chamber, generate another what's this beam called? Anti-hydrogen beam? Or not anti-proton beam. It's the exact same accelerator, right? We have 3 copies of the exact same accelerator. Smash those together. That produces, do the thing, anti-helium. There's downtime whenever any of our 3 reactors have to swap their sources out, and it happens relatively often, right? Because the source only lasts for 600 ticks a pop. So each individual source, when it runs out, it takes, you know, half second-ish to get swapped out. Causes downtime on the line. That's all right. Reaction happens, creates anti-helium. This anti-helium has way too much energy. We need it to have 0 mega electron volts. So we, well, you know, less than 1,000. Put it through a decelerator, then this is just like the world's most basic decelerator. It, causes, oh no, it's lagging. Did I blow up? Did I blow up? No, I didn't blow up. All right, let's see what that issue is. I don't know. Seems harmless enough. It's some kind of asynchronous processing issue. So is it gonna keep happening? If it's gonna keep happening and cause lag, it is kind of an issue. Whatever, I'll ignore it for the time being. So anyways, we decelerate our anti-helium down to less than 1 kilo electron volt, and I'm going to relog and hopefully it goes away. Relogging seems to have fixed it. I noticed the problem. It thought that there was one RF cavity at... That was an explosion. Why did my accelerators explode? Hello? Why are they hot? Did I run out of... Wait, what? This is... Hold on. If I run out of coolant, this explodes. This is the thing I'm actually legitimately worried about, because its explosion will be not pretty, I expect. Considering there's 8 buckets of anti-hydrogen in it. It didn't explode. Why did all my accelerators blow up? I don't even know. Where's my liquid helium plant? I did have to add a couple supercoolers here because I've exceeded the amount that 4 can process. Didn't run out. What? I'm just gonna pretend like nothing happened. Ignore the explosions. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Are we still producing particles though? As long as we're producing particles, I'm happy to ignore the explosion. No, it's still too hot. All right, I'm gonna turn these off briefly. Maybe when you relog, like something happens briefly. But yeah, while they're running, they basically don't cool down because I don't have enough of a difference between the maximum cooling and the maximum heating. Like, it's tiny, so it takes it forever to cool down unless I flip the switch off. All right, I guess that's probably one of the things that just breaks when I restart. I might have to fix all of my accelerators once, but anyways, I'm just gonna fix the ones that are immediately relevant to this process. All right, so with that, I think that's all of my accelerators fixed. You are once again producing anti-helium. We are once again filling its energy in here, right? So it goes to 0. There we go. Less than 1 kilo electron volt energy output. We pipe that into our containment chamber here, which is fully cooled, and then we generate our positrons from a sodium source. Are you cooled? One last sanity check. You're cool, right? You chill? Flip this on, and we begin the process of making anti-helium 3. I need 1 bucket of, or 1 canister of this ever. So if I get 1, or what's it called, cell? If I get 1 cell, we can fill it up, and then I can turn it off so that we don't have to have 2 things holding antimatter at a time, because antimatter is pretty dangerous just to keep on hand. All right, so it'll take about a minute. The fact that all the the 3 of these probably have their downtime not synced together is a little bit annoying. It means that we have a lot of anti-helium downtime. It's all right, we're almost at 100. And here we go. All right, once we get 100, I can fill a can with it and shut off all of these things just to reduce our helium usage a little bit. We probably do not ever need to turn this half anyways, back on. This was a one-time thing to make 1 can of anti-helium 3. Next, we have to make ourselves a low-gravity deposition chamber to actually turn it into... Well, I guess we still have to make the crystal too, huh? I haven't gone to the moon to get my dilithium yet, dang it. Unfortunately, though, we're out of time. So, I get so many of these lag spikes. I mean, I know why. It's because I give the pack 9 gigabytes of RAM when it doesn't... I mean, it might need it. I don't know, whatever. I'm not too concerned. Anyways, yeah, that's all the time for today. If I keep going, we're gonna go into like 45-minute episodes 5 times in a row. What we'll do next time is, I guess, make our trip to the moon, get our dilithium, and then turn our anti-helium into an incoherent matrix. With that, we are getting really close, though, to neutronium here, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 quests left to get to neutronium. There's 2 fun challenges in here. I might do these, but if I end up doing the challenges and making neutronium through QMD, we're gonna end up with like 8 QMD episodes in a row, and I feel like that's a bit much. But we'll see. Maybe we'll do it as a post creative challenge or something. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Take care and bye bye.